Hello everybody, welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I am Nina.
So we're still talking about dumplings.
Yes, we are.
Have you ever made dumplings before?
Well, speaking of dumplings, it reminds me of something that I have made that is called samosas because of my Indian heritage from my dad's side. So it may not be a dumpling, but it has very similar ways of preparing it.
Yeah.
So we have the meat. My mom would prepare the meat, make the mincemeat with some onions and other seasoning, and she would put it in a bowl and have the pastry ready for us. And she taught us how to fold the pastry in a way that you can stuff the filling inside. And then you wrap it up and put some flour-based something, whatever it is, to glue it together. Yeah, and you deep fry it. So it's actually really fun. Every time I go back to my parents' house, we would make these samosas for everybody.
That sounds really similar to like how when you make a dumpling, that's really what you do.
Yeah.
I made dumplings before.
Yeah.
And the same thing, my wife prepared the filling.
Yes.
And then I helped I don't think it's really helping.
What did you do?
But I helped to wrap it, right? And so I put them in there, and then I tried to wrap them. But the problem was, when I tried to close it, I guess I didn't do a really good job. So all of the filling leaked out when it was boiling.
Oh no.
And maybe a little bit of filling was left in there, but when you ate it, all you're really eating is just the wrapper and just a little bit of filling and a lot of water.
Oh no, that sounds terrible.
So, yeah, it was not very successful.
I mean, maybe you could have made it into like a dumpling soup, put some seasoning in there. That could have worked.
That's kind of what it ended up being, but it still didn't taste very good.
I'm sorry.
Well, let's learn more about dumplings from around the world.
Yes.
Europe and Central Asia. Some historians think the dumpling originated in the Middle East, possibly in Turkey. The many kinds of dumplings that are found across Central Asia would seem to support that claim. For example, in Georgia, there's the khinkali, which is filled with spiced meat. Farther west, we find Italian ravioli, square pockets of pasta typically stuffed with meat and served in soup or topped with sauce. Similar foods are found across Europe, such as bacon-topped pierogi in Poland or potato-filled vareniki in Ukraine. Some might say the Cornish pasty, a common English pastry filled with ground beef, is a kind of dumpling, but most people would say it's too big and is more like a pie.
All right, we're continuing our dumpling tour of the world. The Dumplings of the World Part 2.
Yes.
So where are we heading to now?
Europe and Central Asia.
Okay, Europe? Dumplings in Europe.
It's really interesting because it seems that dumplings are literally all over the world.
Yeah, really. Not in America. I don't think we really.
Not in America.
We just eat.
No, you just steal all the cuisines from different countries, right?
Exactly. We don't have our own.
All right, so Europe and Central Asia. Some historians think the dumpling originated in the Middle East, possibly in Turkey.
Okay, I don't think of Turkey having dumplings.
That's interesting.
Okay, so we have the first vocabulary word, historian. So historian is a noun. So basically it's just a person who studies or writes about history. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Historian. So for example, Mrs. Daniels works at the museum as an art historian.
Okay.
The many kinds of dumplings that are found across Central Asia would seem to support that claim. For example, in Georgia, there's the khinkali, which is filled with spiced meat. Khinkali, it's cute. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither. I wonder what it looks like. Well, like a dumpling, but,
it looks like
but different. Yeah, let's learn more about it. Farther west, we find Italian ravioli.
Yummy.
Square pockets of pasta, typically stuffed with meat and served in soup or topped with sauce. I love ravioli.
Ravioli, so that's it. So, right, when we're in Europe, ravioli, of course, that is definitely a dumpling.
I love ravioli. It's like that small, but it's like so juicy, and you have your sauce on it, or it's in a soup. I'm hungry now.
I think it's probably one of my favorite pasta dishes.
Oh, really?
Ravioli.
Oh, nice.
I love cheese. Usually it's filled with cheese.
Oh, yeah, cheese. That's true.
So what is pasta?
So pasta is a noun. So it's a food made from flour, water, and sometimes egg that is cooked and usually served with a sauce. So ravioli, pasta is a type of pasta, right?
Right. So I mean, it's kind of noodles. Like in Chinese, you say an Italian noodle.
Exactly,
right?
Italian noodle. But in
Basically.
the case of ravioli, it's like noodle stuffed with meat. So
Right.
yeah. So an example sentence would be, Phil ordered pasta with clam sauce.
Right. So you can say pasta or pasta. I can hear a little bit of your English
Pasta.
accent coming out.
Pasta.
Pasta. They're both okay.
Tomato, tomato.
Right. Okay, continuing reading. Similar foods are found across Europe, such as bacon-topped pierogi in Poland or potato-filled vareniki in Ukraine. Some might say the Cornish pasty, a common English pastry filled with ground beef, is a kind of dumpling.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but I've seen that. That actually kind of reminds me of when you were talking about samosas, right? Because it's like deep fried.
It's deep fried.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have the shape of when we think of a dumpling.
And it's a lot thicker, right? It's bigger.
Yeah. So, like here they say, but most people would say it's too big and is more like a pie.
Yeah, that's the
like
thing.
A pie.
It is like a pie. But, you know, if it looks like a dumpling, you know, probably tastes a little bit like a dumpling, they're going to say, oh, yeah, it's a dumpling.
So I think the general idea here is if you like take a kind of pastry and you wrap it around some filling like meat or vegetables, basically around the world, it's a kind of a dumpling.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's take a break. I'm going to get a snack. I'm getting hungry.
Maybe we can get a dumpling.
Ooh, okay.
大家好，我是 Tina。我们在第一天的课文简单介绍了东亚和南亚地区的饺子，接着来到欧洲跟中亚。有些历史学家认为饺子是源自于中东，可能是在土耳其。其实中亚各地区有许多不同的饺子，像是乔治亚有卡里饺，再往西可以找到 ravioli 意大利方饺。类似的食物在欧洲各地都能找到，像是上面撒了培根的波兰饺子，填满马铃薯的乌克兰饺子等等。有些人可能会说康瓦尔馅饼也算饺子，它是一种塞满牛肉馅的英国常见糕点，但大多数人会觉得它太大了，比较像派而不是饺子。单字 historian 是一个名词，历史学家。Pasta 指的是名词，意大利面食。刚刚老师们开玩笑说，美国似乎没有自己的饺子，直接把各国美味佳肴偷来用。老师说的 cuisine C-U-I-S-I-N-E 指的是名词，一国或者是某一个地区的菜肴烹饪。这边有一个重点，我们进入文法时间。
好，我们来看这个重点是 farther 与 further 的差异。Farther 和 further 都是 far 的比较级，常常可以互换使用，但还是有些微差别。我们先来看 farther， 它当形容词或是副词，那在美语当中是强调具体距离是比较远的或是更远的。例如 ，They drove a bit farther to find a better hotel。他们为了寻找更好的饭店，把车开得稍远一点。好，我们接着来看到 further 的用法。第一个呢，它是可以当形容词或副词，用来比喻或者是程度上更远的、更进一步的、更高的那种意思。举例来说 ，If you have any further questions, just give me a call。如果有进一步的问题，就打电话给我哦。那再来，我们可以把 further 当副词用，表达此外而且，那就相当于 moreover 或者是 additionally。举例来说 ，Strengthening core muscles can reduce the risk of back pain. Further, it can help improve our posture and balance. 强化核心肌群可以降低背痛的风险。此外呢，也能帮助改善我们的姿势与平衡。第三个，我们可以拿 further 当动词用，去表达推进、促进，像是 Greg is looking to further his career with more training.Greg 打算接受更多训练来进一步发展职涯。好，接回到课文中。
South America. Dumplings aren't found only in Asia and Europe. In Argentina, for example, the empanada is very popular. It's pastry that is stuffed with ingredients such as meat, cheese, corn, or tomato, and then baked or fried. Was the dumpling first invented in one place and then taken across the world? Or did human beings around the globe independently start wrapping fillings in dough? One thing is certain, they are delicious wherever they are made.
Okay, continuing our dumpling tour. Where are we heading next?
South America.
Oh, have you ever been to South America?
I have never been.
Me neither.
Really?
But it's close to, I'm from California in
Yeah.
the United States, and we're very close to South America.
I'm surprised you've never visited.
I have not.
I heard the food is amazing.
Yeah, well, let's learn about the dumplings.
All right, so dumplings aren't found only in Asia and Europe. In Argentina, for example, the empanada is very popular.
Empanadas
You
are
never-
so good.
I love them. They're basically, they look like dumplings, but they're deep fried. And they're bigger.
And
like
they're bigger,
this one,
right.
yes. So it's perfect. So it's pastry that is stuffed with ingredients such as meat, cheese, corn, or tomato, and then baked or fried.
Yeah, they're
Sounds
really good
great.
when they're fried.
Yes. Ugh.
Oh, so delicious.
I'm so hungry right now. So what about the ingredients? What's ingredients?
All right, so ingredient is a noun. So it's food or foods that are used when you're preparing a dish. So for example, if you're going to bake a cake, you would have, your ingredients would be
Milk,
flour, water, yeast,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
Sugar, eggs.
Yes.
Right, so these are the ingredients to make a cake. Example sentence, Rosie ran out of fresh ingredients, so she made the dish with frozen vegetables.
Okay.
If you have to.
Yeah, it's doable.
All right, I'll continue reading. Was the dumpling first invented in one place and then taken across the world? Or did human beings around the globe independently start wrapping fillings in dough?
That's a very good question. I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, did the idea start from one place, or was it everyone had this idea in different places?
That's really interesting. I would imagine that it was from traveling and they saw it somewhere and then they kind of copied it, but not necessarily.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see. One thing is certain, they are delicious wherever they are made.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, something stuffed with filling and deep fried, or, you know, it's just juicy and full of flavor.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, you can. Even vegetarians can have
You
it.
can go wrong if I'm
Yeah,
making the
that's
dumpling
true.
for you, then it can go wrong.
Yeah, let's just not have Shane's dumplings. Then you'll be happy.
Right. So
All right.
what does globe mean?
Globe is a noun. It just means the world. So, yeah, the entire globe, the world.
Right.
Or if it's talking about an object, it's like a little, a round ball of the world.
Like a ball, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
a
so
ball
you
is
can
a globe.
you can see all the countries on it. So an example sentence, his greatest ambition is to sail around the globe. So you could
So sail
easily
around
say
the world,
exactly.
right?
Another example would be the song is popular around the globe.
Or around the world, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
the
another
same.
way of saying world.
Exactly.
The other vocabulary word is wrap. So this is a verb. It means to cover or surround something with paper, cloth, material, pastry,
Yeah.
basically with anything, right?
You can wrap. Oh, like a chicken wrap. You can
Ooh,
have like
right.
some vegetables and chicken and you wrap it up. That's like a Greek dish, right? Like a gyro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Example sentence, the new mother wrapped her baby in a blanket and left the hospital.
Aw.
So sweet. So what do you think, all right? What do you think? Which dumpling would you most like to try? And why?
I'd love to try that English one. It's kind of like an empanada. What is it called?
Oh yeah, the Cornish pasty.
Yeah, Cornish pasty.
Cornish pasty.
Yes, the Cornish pasty.
Right, it does look like an empanada.
It does, and it's deep fried, and I'm curious to see how it differs from an empanada. Maybe like the flavor is more interesting, it's different.
Right.
Yeah, so that's something I really want to try.
For me, I think I would like to try the vareniki, the Ukrainian one.
Oh, yes.
Because it's made with potato.
All right, and you're a vegetarian.
Right, so a potato dumpling, I think. Because a lot of times when I am going to order dumplings,
Yes.
I have to find a vegetarian one, or luckily in Taiwan, you can get vegetarian meat.
Yes.
But if it's vegetarian already, I imagine that it's going to have lots of good spices because it's supposed to be just made out of potato.
Ah.
So I imagine that will be pretty delicious.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
I would like to try that.
Okay. So what do you guys think? If you had the choice of having any type of dumpling from anywhere in the world, which one would you choose?
All right, yeah, so let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Hopefully you enjoyed this trip around the world, learning about all different types of dumplings. I know I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually very hungry right now,
I'm
so
starving.
I'm going to go grab myself a dumpling.
All right, let's go get some dumplings.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
最后，我们来到南美洲，阿根廷的 empanada 很受欢迎，它是塞满肉、cheese、玉米或者是番茄等食材之后再烘烤或油炸的油酥点心。看了这2天的课文，同学们觉得饺子是先在一个地方发明，然后再带到世界各地，还是全球各地的人各自开始把馅料包进面团里呢？有件事情是肯定的，不管在哪里制作，它们都很好吃。先来看3个单字，第一个 ingredient 是一个名词，烹饪的原料或者是食材。下面一个单字 globe 名词，地球、球状物或者是地球仪。文章用 around the globe 指的是在全球各地。下一个单字 wrap 是一个动词，包裹、包装或把它包起来。这边有一个重点，我们接着进入文法时间。
好，我们来看这个重点是 wherever 当连接词的不同意思。第一个呢，它可以指不管啊，或是无论在哪里，就相当于 no matter where。举例来说 ，Brent makes friends wherever he goes， 也可以说 Brent makes friends no matter where he goes。Brent 无论到哪里都能交到朋友。那第二个用法，我们可以用 wherever 来表达在任何地方，它就会跟这个 at、in 或者是 to 加上 any place 或者是 anywhere 意思相同。例如 ，You are free to sit wherever you like， 你喜欢坐哪里都可以。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Europe and Central Asia. Some historians think the dumpling originated in the Middle East, possibly in Turkey. The many kinds of dumplings that are found across Central Asia would seem to support that claim. For example, in Georgia, there's the khinkali, which is filled with spiced meat. Farther west, we find Italian ravioli, square pockets of pasta typically stuffed with meat and served in soup or topped with sauce. Similar foods are found across Europe, such as bacon-topped pierogi in Poland or potato-filled vareniki in Ukraine. Some might say the Cornish pasty, a common English pastry filled with ground beef, is a kind of dumpling, but most people would say it's too big and is more like a pie. South America. Dumplings aren't found only in Asia and Europe. In Argentina, for example, the empanada is very popular. It's pastry that is stuffed with ingredients such as meat, cheese, corn, or tomato, and then baked or fried. Was the dumpling first invented in one place and then taken across the world? Or did human beings around the globe independently start wrapping fillings in dough? One thing is certain, they are delicious wherever they are made.
Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jamie.
Today we're playing Word Drop. We each have 3 cards with words on them that we have not looked at yet, and we need to fit these words into a conversation as smoothly as we can. So Jamie, are you ready to start the conversation?
I guess so. All right, let's go.
Yep.
Okay, so in the US, there's a really famous chain called Chipotle. I think they're actually at in other countries too. But so at Chipotle or other similar chains, basically it's supposed to be Mexican food, but it's like Americanized. But one of the nice things that people like is that you can customize your order. So for instance, if you want a burrito, you can pick what kind of tortilla you want, and you can pick like the stuff you want in it, like what type of meat and whatnot. And at the end, they wrap your burrito.
Oh, okay. That's nice that they do that for you. I like Mexican food a lot, actually. I try and find good Mexican food here in Taiwan. But yeah, Mexican food is one thing I like. I like a lot of different countries' foods, and yeah, in North America we have a lot of like Mexican food, and also like another thing that we tend to eat a lot of is like Italian food, like sort of fake Italian food. But I actually really like it, and I like to eat a lot of pasta.
Oh, I also enjoy pasta. I like actually most Italian food, or Italian food, whatever you want to say. But yeah, I like pasta and pizza. And yeah, I think one special thing also is that some people who like to cook, they like to customize it and make the pizza or pasta the way they like it. And sometimes they will choose like a special ingredient to add, or they have a favorite ingredient in their recipe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like to. I mean, it's nice to add your own ingredients when making something, and maybe that's how these sort of new cuisines kind of start. Like American pizza is not quite like Italian pizza, and these kind of different foods come from people adding their own ingredients and making new things. And I think you could learn a lot about this kind of how these foods came about if you were to ask a historian.
I think so too. Food has a lot of history, just like clothing and whatnot. And I think one thing, yeah, like you mentioned, there's so much wonderful food around the entire globe.
Oh yeah. So there is a lot of food around the entire globe, and I do like to travel and try a lot of different cuisines. I always find that whenever I'm in a different country, wherever I go, I try the local food.
Oh, that's nice. Was your word food? Local?
Wherever you go.
Oh.
See you next time.